All right, guys, this lesson, I'm gonna admit up front, is gonna be a little bit tedious, but it's necessary just to get through and to understand some of the most common audio edits that we'll make in a playback situation. Okay, now let's save as our session. Common audio edits. Okay. So we're literally just going to go through our edit menu and cover each edit one at a time. Okay. Now our first is undo and redo. So if I was to highlight this and hit delete, I can hit Command Z and undo it. Or if I decided I did want to delete that, Shift Command Z and redo it. Okay. Obviously, I don't want to do that, so we'll keep it. Now, if we wanted to cut a section, we Command X. It'll get rid of it, but it also copies it to the clipboard. So if we wanted to paste it, we can paste it right back, which paste is Command V. Okay. Cut is not a tool, an edit that I use very often, but I'm going to go through them all. Now, cut time. We did cut time. Similar concept, except I'll just show you what it does. Shift Command X. So it cuts the section out, but it does it in time, meaning that it's going to glue anything that's not here. This section and this section is going to glue them together. It's kind of like shuffle mode in Pro Tools. Anyone who uses a Pro Tools guide, it's like shuffle mode in Pro Tools. So if you cut this in time, it's going to glue these together. It's also going to cut, like if you just selected that, it's going to cut everything in this section, not just what you selected. Okay. And again, when you're cutting, it adds it to the clipboard. So you could take it and paste it somewhere else, right? So if I did Shift Command X, I could go over here and paste and it'll put it right there. Copy and paste. So that's just, I copy this, Command C and go here, copy and paste, Command V, it's just gonna paste it. All right, that's simple. Paste in time. Now, this will paste whatever you copy to the clipboard, and it will, wherever you paste it, it's gonna move everything back accordingly, right? So if I take hook and copy it and then paste in time, Shift Command V. All right. It's gonna, wherever I put my cursor, right? So if I put my cursor here, or put my cursor right here, see? It's gonna always move everything back. So I can put it right here, same thing. Now, if you noticed, because this is a MIDI region, I tried to paste it here and it just created a space. Now, if I wanted to take this whole section and copy it and then paste it in time, it would just, it's like doubling it. But it's gonna kind of respect, you know, the like tracks, right? Duplicate. This just duplicates a region right next to it. Command D. You see how I went over what was already there? Because it's not the same as duplicating in time. So it will duplicate over whatever's there, right? Now if we duplicate in time, Shift Command D, it will duplicate that whole section. Now, the cool thing about this is that all we have to do is select, like if we select our MIDI marker, it's going to take everything in this section. So it's almost the same as if we were to select this whole thing, but you don't have to. You could just hit, somebody said, hey, let's double the second hook. You just click hook, Shift Command D, boom, it's done. Quick and easy. Delete, we already went over delete. That's just literally delete, get rid of it. Delete in time, Shift Command Delete. Again, it's gonna delete everything in this section and then glue them together. Similar to cut in time, except it's not gonna add anything to the clipboard. Again, click on whatever, hey, I don't think we need the second verse for this song. Okay, cool. Second verse, boom. We'll just do a double hook at the end and go straight to the outro. Split, how to split a region. Go here, Command E. Actually, that's not going to show you. So let me open this up. Command E. You see, split it into a separate region. Consolidate. So we can split this, Command E, and then click, Shift, hold Shift and click, Command J. And it'll consolidate and put them back together. Now I want to, all right. Deactivated activated clip is the number 0. It just takes it offline. So that could be anything. The drummer's like, hey, this hi-hat is kind of in my way. I'll just play the hi-hat myself. Cool, get rid of the hi-hat. Region volume. Let's talk about the region volume. I showed you this in the importing audio lesson, but if you double click on a region, it brings up this panel. Here's a region volume right here. You double click, it'll put it back on 0. Now, plugins. Now this is like, if for whatever reason you want to add some effects, you would click the track, double click the track, to bring up this panel here. We're going to click on this arrow up here to the top left and hit audio effects. All right. So we got our EQs and things like that. Now let's test this out on the guitar. Okay, so let's solo the guitar. Let's say we're gonna add a, something, a bridge or something in the song. We want to add an effect or whatever. So let's take the flanger. So we just take it and drag it over here. Amount. Let's just play it, see what it sounds like. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So that, and let's say some reverb. Take the reverb. Try away. Cool. Right. Okay. Now that we've added this to this track, right? Now, remember, we are thinking of this as if we're going to have multiple songs in a session, right? So let's say you got 5 different songs, 10 different songs in a session. You're going to have other guitar track, other, regions in this same track on different songs. So you're not going to want this effect on the next song. So that brings us to this next edit, which is freeze and flatten. Okay. Now let's talk about how this works. Okay. We already put this processing on here. Okay. We're going to duplicate this track. Okay. All right. Get rid of the audio region there. All right. So it has the same effects, right? So we're going to drag our guitar track down here. We're going to freeze the track. So we're going to right click here, freeze track. And that's on the region, not the track. Sorry. All right. So you see what it does. Now, next we will flatten. And you'll see what it does. So it unfreezes it. It also gets rid of the processing, right? So this is our original track. We'll get rid of these. Then we'll take this and move it back up, and we should still have our processing. Yep, it's written directly to the track now, to the region now. So this way we could do this processing, add these effects, and not worry about affecting other regions in other songs that are on the same track. Because when we did freeze track, it freezed the actual track. So that's going to do everything in the whole session, right? So that's why we created this blank track, just moved this one down and did the processing, and then move it back up to its track, and then we get rid of this one, and it's perfect. And we can keep what we did on there. We can just leave it like that. We don't have to undo it. I actually like how it sounds. And that is pretty much all we need to go over, to be honest, for this. Those are most of the audio edits that I would say I've had to do in playback situations. And, you have your kind of few that you use more than others, like delete in time, duplicate in time. Those are probably the ones that I use the most. The freeze and flatten, I don't use too often. It just depends on the gig and how much programming and arranging and things like that I'm doing. But, for the most part, if you can master these things that we went over, you'll be pretty much good to go.